The final fraud, Satan appearing as Yahushua. The devil has worked within the Roman Catholic Jesuit order for nearly 500 years to perpetuate one huge fabrication. We live upon a globe Earth, rotating around the sun in a huge solar system, both spinning through an immense galaxy, traveling an enormous, ever-expanding universe that contains alien life on other planets. These beliefs are essential to Satan's complex end-time strategy. Demons, pretending to be aliens, will invade the earth under the first woe, which enables the last pope to broker a peace treaty with these stealthy demonic extraterrestrials. After the pope successfully halts the alien attacks, he will obtain a political appointment to head the new one-world religion. In this role, the pope will help Satan in this final deception, pretending to be Yahushua. Satan has always wanted to worship you, the Creator, alone. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahuwah. I will be like the Most High. For millennia on earth, Satan has diverted worship from the Creator to false gods of his invention, and in the final remnant of time, Satan will make it appear he is the Savior returning as promised. Satan will seek to be the completion of every religious expectation. Savior, Messiah, Promised One. All three of the monotheistic Abrahamic religions have very specific expectations for the events they believe will happen at the end of the age. Muslims expect to see the re-emergence of the hidden Imam, or Mahdi, just prior to the establishment of worldwide Islamic dominance. The hidden Imam is known by several monikers, which translate to Expected One, the Hidden One, and, of course, Mahdi, Promised One. Jews anticipate the arrival of their Messiah, a descendant from the house of David. After his return, they believe Israel will be exalted as a nation. All foreigners will be banished from their borders, and the world will be converted, its leaders bringing tribute to the Jewish Messiah. Christians. Different denominations have differing beliefs as to the order of events preceding the Second Coming. However, all Christians are united in looking for a return of Yahushua, the hope of every Christian now living. These Abrahamic religions are not alone in looking for a promised one to come visit this depraved world. Buddhists believe after a period of great moral degeneration in society, there will arise in the world an exalted one named Maitreya. Fully awakened, abounding in wisdom and goodness, happy, with knowledge of the worlds, unsurpassed as a guide to mortals willing to be led, a teacher for gods and men. Hindus believe this present time period is the last of 4 ages, and the most morally depraved of these. At its end, they anticipate the final reincarnation of Vishnu as Kalki, riding a white horse to gather the few pious souls remaining. Together with the other incarnations of the Godhead, or avatars, Kalki will destroy sin and vanquish every demon. 80% of the Earth's population live within these 5 religions. Satan, the mastermind behind every organized religion, has influenced so many through his own theological lies, he will create fictitious last-day scenes to meet this number's latter-day expectations. Satan is the world's greatest Bible scholar and knows the truth very well. He is responsible for every incorrect view concerning the Creator and the end of the world. He will appear as the Mahdi to the Muslims, the Messiah to the Jews, Yahushua to the Christians, Maitreya to the Buddhists, and Kalki to the Hindus. The trumpets of Revelation 8 and 9 will be heaven's last warning to the earth. As deceptive as this sequence of events can be, we see the foundation for that which is to follow: the impersonation of the Savior by his arch-enemy. The world will be thrown into unprecedented chaos during the 3.5-year period between the first and second woes. Satan desires the masses turn to their religious leaders to make sense of the catastrophic events unfolding around them. Thus, he reshapes the thinking of all by the few. The horrific events under the first woe have been intentionally designed so that Satan's impersonation of Yahushua will be wholeheartedly believed. As the crowning act in the great drama of deception, Satan himself will personate Christ. The Church has long professed to look to the Savior's advent as the consummation of her hopes. Now the great deceiver will make it appear that Christ has come. In different parts of the earth, Satan will manifest himself among men as a majestic being of dazzling brightness, resembling the description of the Son of Yah given by John in the Revelation. The glory that surrounds him is unsurpassed by anything that mortal eyes have yet beheld. The shout of triumph rings out upon the air. Christ has come! Christ has come! The people prostrate themselves in adoration before him, while he lifts up his hands and pronounces a blessing upon them, as Yahushua blessed his disciples when he was upon the earth. His voice is soft and subdued, yet full of melody. Satan's control of organized religions has led most followers to conclude that which he desires. They all approach their local religious leaders for instruction in what to believe, thus his lies are disseminated throughout. Leaders consult with superiors to follow the guidance of the upper hierarchs. In the near future, the Pope's influence will cross all religious boundaries, directly under Satan himself. Thus, when he appears as Christ, the Pope accepts him to conduce the world's worship of Satan as truly Savior. The leaders of all other religious bodies follow his example. The Orthodox churches will be told by their patriarchs, "This is indeed Christ." Jews will rejoice to finally receive their Messiah. Muslims will thank Allah for sending their promised one. Buddhists accept him as Maitreya. Hindus as the prophesied Kalki. Christian leaders assure their sheep the beautiful being they see, closely matching the description of Yahushua given in Revelation, is the long-awaited Savior of the world. All will insist, this is the Christ. All who disagree are considered radicals, yet this is precisely how the people of Yah respond. Only those who have been diligent students of the Scriptures and who have received the love of the truth will be shielded from the powerful delusions that take the world captive. By the Bible testimony, these will detect the deceiver in his disguise. Are the people of Yahuwah now so firmly established upon His word that they would not yield to the evidence of their senses? Would they, in such a crisis, cling to the Bible and the Bible only? The religious hierarchy of Babylon prepares the world to worship Satan, and for this reason the clarion call goes forth, "Go out of her, my people." The sincere in heart flee Babylon, no longer influenced by hierarchical human control. During the second woe, the Bible foretells the death of 1/3 of humanity. Yahuwah, in great love and mercy, does not allow Satan's destruction to fall before all have heard the clarity of the gospel message once again. Satan's imposture occurs before the destruction of the second woe, while heaven's truth resounds throughout the earth. As the world's masses follow the example of religious leaders and bow before Satan, great will be the indignation felt against all who refuse to act accordingly. The small remnant stand boldly for the truth, while denouncing the counterfeit, and face harsh persecution. As the world's masses bow before Satan, their savior, and persecution for noncompliance increases, then those found under political control are obliged to accept Satan as their Messiah. In gentle, compassionate tones, he, Satan, presents some of the same gracious heavenly truths which the Savior uttered. He heals the diseases of the people, and then, in his assumed character of Christ, he claims to have changed the Sabbath to Sunday, and commands all to hallow the day which he has blessed. He declares that those who persist in keeping holy the seventh day are blaspheming his name by refusing to listen to his angels sent to them with light and truth. This is the strong, almost overmastering delusion. Like the Samaritans who were deceived by Simon Magus, the multitudes, from the least to the greatest, give heed to these sorceries, saying, "This is the great power of God." It is impossible to grasp the sheer hatred felt against all who steadfastly refuse to bow to this satanic counterfeit. The desire to force compliance is driven by the fear, if all don't unite to accept the promised one, the alien invasion of the first woe might return. When humanity suffers the great losses predicted under the second woe, this will appear justified. Many will be martyred for refusing to go along with the mass hysteria, when, lending an air of believability, demons appear and impersonate prominent religious leaders of the past, including the 12 apostles, with other prophets, and the 12 Israelite patriarchs. The third woe begins, probation having just closed. All holy and righteous will remain thus, as those having persisted in rebellion against heaven are filled with a satanic zeal unprecedented in Earth's history, which steadily increases under the 7 last plagues. Satan, too, will be filled with murderous intent. If he could wipe from the earth this small remnant, denouncing him as a fraud, his triumph would be complete. The malevolent impostor coerces world leaders to enact a law declaring, "All who refuse to bow and worship Christ shall be put to death." The faith of the remnant, although sorely tested, will not fail them, as with extreme spiritual thirst they remain standing in obedience to see their beloved Savior at His appearing. These shall continue to abide in peace and boundless joy, as Him who is the water they seek grasps their steadfast loving desires, and will call to wed for all eternity those who have forsaken all for Him whom they have loved. He will swallow up death in victory, and Adonai Yahweh will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of His people shall He take away from off all the earth, for Yahweh hath spoken. And it shall be said in that day, Lo, this is our Eloah. We have waited for Him, and He will save us. This is Yahuwah. We have waited for Him. We will be glad and rejoice in His salvation.